up, guys, it's time to talk about positioning. Now, this section I probably consider to be maybe the most important, even over recoil control when it comes to the mechanics of CSGO and just like winning fights and overall like success in engaging with an enemy. Now, I'm going to talk about three main concepts when I talk about angles. One is on angles, the other is off angles, and there's obviously some details in between there. And then the last thing is how their HP or the scenario affects these things and what you can expect. All right, and how it affects the peak, rather. Jumping right in game, I'm going to talk about a couple examples. So we'll start with on angles, all right? So when I talk about these angles, guys, the reason I want you to make sure you're watching all the videos in the course is because I'm dropping hints of each other aspect in each video. So right now I'm talking about on angles, and I'll explain what that is in a second. But one aspect of this is pre-aim. So what I'm going to talk about is how you're pre-aiming and how you're fighting angles with pre-aim, but talking about positioning around that. So on angles are the most common angles anyone peaks when going into somewhere. So if you're going into middle, an on angle would be something like that. Like this is obviously a common angle someone could hold. The on angles are the first angle you see entering any room and then any obvious like corner or hiding spot, right? So an on angle coming into mid right now would be here. It would be there. It would be there, right? This is kind of an off angle. I'll explain that in a second. There, right? Any obvious like corner. Now this one right here is actually kind of an off angle, but I'll tell you in a second. It's called like a flush hold, a flush angle, because it's flush with this box. The word flush means like in line with, right? So we'll stick with on angles for a second. Anywhere you go, on angle is where you should expect someone to be 100% at like when they're spotting especially. So spotting is just like they're not trying to kill you. So this is an on angle is right here, right? This is an on angle, right? So these are areas where you're expecting someone to be holding because they could strafe away. They could get the kill and they could strafe away. They can get the kill and they could strafe away. An off angle is anything in between that. So if this line is the two on angles, off angle is anything in the middle of the pie. Now, obviously, this is technically an on angle right here when you peek. So you could say like, this is an on angle, that's an on angle, that's an on angle, because if you're coming up the stairs, people might be holding right here. But anything in between is an off angle. Now, when you're playing the defensive position and you're waiting for someone to peek you, and you want to frag them, an off angle, aside from sniping, right? That's the nuance here. When you're using a rifle and you want to frag someone, off angles are generally your best chance at beating them to the reaction of the shot, right? So if someone comes in A main right here, if you're holding that with a sniper, that's fine. If you're holding that with a sniper, that's fine. But if you're holding these two spots, the T's should have a chance at pre-aiming you there and pre-aiming you there and killing you, right? But if you're just standing like right here by this box, you know, that's an off angle, right? Because if a guy's peeking this, they're not going to come around like this and jiggle this and this and this and this, you know. Some pros do that. It's pretty wild, though. But you're also opening yourself up to them spotting your arm before you do. One thing to remember is your elbow on your right side sticks out, whether you use left-handed or right-handed model. The model holds the gun right-handed, so your right elbow sticks out more. So if you're peeking this, obviously, like they could already see me because I'm so close to the wall. They could even see me right here if he's right there. Remember, your right elbow sticks out a little more. Anyways, on the left arm here, on angles. It makes sense, right, guys? This is an on angle, and that's an on angle, because those are the two spots in the room you're going to where they'd most likely hold. Obviously, this is kind of an on angle because this is a corner, right? Same as if you're going over here. What's the first on angle? That, then that, right? So if you're running in the room and you think they have control of squeaky door, that's the first angle you peek, then that one. Then if you come in here, you clear the corners, right? Those are all part of the on angle kind of umbrella. Any off angle is what, guys? So if this is an on angle, and this is an on angle, the off angle is in the middle. So if you're coming around the corner and he shot at you back here, and he knew you strafed back this way, the smart angle for him would be not stand here, unless maybe if he has a rifle and wants to get away, but the smart angle is holding in the middle, because most likely what you're doing is you're pre-aiming the corner. So that's how you play both sides of this, right? And then the better you get as the offensive player, you'll be aware. And now I'm going to show you the flush angle and off angles, and this is the most common one at a higher level. So if you run into this room right here, right? One form of an off angle is a flush angle where you don't have cover. So the on angle running in here is basically the only places with cover would be like right here, right there, right there, right there, and then the on angles are the corners, obviously, but those aren't what we're talking about necessarily. So by on angle, right, we know what we mean, guys, right? The guy could be holding here, strafe away. You be holding here, strafe away. You be holding here and strafe away. The off angles are obviously anything in between that. So if this is on an angle, that's on an angle, that's on an angle, that's on an angle. There's not really any off angle right here that's not going to be close to your crosshair, so no one will really play there. So the next off angle they're going to play, and this is the flush angle, right? So this is the flush angle, is in here. A lot of times pros will use a flush angle because what will happen is they assume that the other person is coming in right here and they're going to jiggle peek the on angles because they know at a higher level that they want you to shoot. So they want you to get a shot off right here. And then they'll know where you're at, and then you're forced to hide and they can gain ground on you. So it'll look like this. Like jiggle, he shoots, and now you're coming up here. Now you have the advantage in the sense that it's easy for you to have your crosshair placement. You're the one peeking in him. Now, like I said, opping's different. We'll get to that next. So a flush angle, guys, is when you're very confident, you want to go for the kill. You stand somewhere like this, flush with the corridor, and they have to be very good. Now, the better players you're playing against, you'll come slightly off the flush angle. So let's give another example of a flush angle. Say it's an after plant, and the T is an A main. The bomb's planted right here, right? That's a good throw, right on that corner, right? If the CT knows the last guy's A main because like maybe he peeked out here and killed a guy, and then he's hiding here. A lot of people will expect the flush angle. So if the CT, at a higher level rather, as the CT is running in, he'll peek like this, right? So what you do is you come straight off the flush angle. So instead of being here, you peek like this. But even these are kind of tough because this guy, if he's good, will keep peeking every like quarter angle. And that's what a good player does. And that's how you peek in a tough, when you're in the offensive, you have to peek the quarter angles. You don't just peek here and then expect him to be over here. Even though this is the angle he's holding the bomb from, only like beginner players are going to go straight to this angle. So make sure when you're fighting people, if you really want to fight, you go to each quarter angle, and that's how you maintain the advantage. And if you really want to juke him, what you do is say you get contact with him here, and you think he's going to hold, is you peek right back in this angle, because what's going to happen is he's going to peek you here. And then as he sees you strafe away, if you don't kill him, his crosshair is going to go like this, right? So in that moment, you strafe, you re-peek, his crosshair is already trying to lead to the next angle, but you re-peek right here. So it's like, boom, you shoot, re-peek, he's expecting to be here, but you're already here. So you go like this, strafe, away, back, fire. Because you know he's coming to that next angle. So you're here, you fought him. You know if you strafe here, he's going to try to meet you at this line. So he's going to try to pre-aim into this line. So you pretend you're going that way. You shoot at him, cut out of vision, stop at this line, re-peek right away. And then now you're getting the advantage, and that's what's called peeker's advantage in CSGO. Because of the physics in CSGO, the person who's moving kind of makes it hard for that first bullet. Like say this is the left edge of him. It's hard for you to like react to the left edge of him when he's peeking, when he's moving. Standing still is different. That's why it's called a peeker's advantage. The person who's peeking into this guy has a slight movement advantage with the hitbox and the way CSGO works. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Off angles, on angles, and everything. On angle is the angle what, guys? That you expect them to be holding. You come at A main, it even works with longer distances. What's the on angle? Here, here, right here, right? And then truck. Those are the three places that they could play where they have cover. That's how an on angle is defined. They have cover from the angle or it's a corner. This is obviously an on angle, right? Everything where they have cover off the peak, court fence right here is an on angle, on angle, on angle. On angle, 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 right? There's cool pre-aim maps, I don't know what they're called now, pre-aim maps and warm-up maps where you can retake sites. It's a great way to practice your angles and your positioning peaks. And then on the defense, guys, flip everything I just said on its head. Right? If you know this guy wants to peek off of you, peek a little into him, then hold, and then peek into him. Peek a little into him, then hold, then peek into him. That little hold in between is going to counter his re-peek so that you're ready to react right away. So you're not just falling into the wide peeks. Alright, guys? I hope that makes sense. The last thing I want to mention, even though this video is going on a little bit, is HP. Anytime there's an opper or someone with low HP, the easiest thing to do is jiggle peek them because that's how you're going to get them to identify their spot. There's an opper quad or a low HP guy quad. Jiggle peek, he shoots. If it's an M4, you swing because your teammate said, hey, he's low quad. The only way a guy kills you with low HP is if he outshoots you right away. So if you just peek into someone right here and he has low HP and just headshots you, you die. But if you get the low HP guy to shoot at you, that's why sometimes you'll see pros go like this. They'll just shoot a bullet to make your trigger finger, who might be tense with low HP, fire. Then you mess up his recoil. He has low HP, fire, re-peek. Fire, re-peek. Same thing for an opper. You think he's holding this angle, come up close. Right here he could see your foot. right? He could see me already right here because I'm close to the object. So the way you jiggle peek, and I guess this might have been one of the most important things of jiggle peeking, is you get close to the object. You don't jiggle peek back here. You stay close to the object, guys. Jiggle peek, he sees your arm. Shoot, that's a jiggle. Jiggle. He shoots, you come out wide, now you're the one holding him. Now with an op, you still might be hard to kill the guy, but you get my point, guys. I hope you learned. Guys, feel free to ask questions. Hit me up here or on Twitter. I should have a contact in the course. Otherwise, Twitter at nothing. My email is nothingtv@gmail.com. Ask questions, guys. Get involved. And I wish you the best of luck with your on angles and off angles.